woke up late in the morning light, and the day had just begun. She opened up her eyes and thought, oh, what a morning. It's not a day for work, it's a day for catching time. Just lying on the beach and having fun. She's going to get ya. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow, but all that she wants is another baby. Yeah. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow, but
All right, Melia or Melia, either is acceptable. Cozumel. The only one that's not acceptable is Melia, and that's the one that makes the most sense to me, but they're like, no, it's not Melia. I got here at noon, my room was not ready. I was like, is there any way I can get in early? They're like, absolutely not. You're waiting. So I waited in the Level Lounge. That is the premium portion of the property. That is their luxury lounge that is conveniently located in a very centralized area. It's right off the adults only pool. It's nice and upscale inside. Nobody was in there, nice and cool. There were cocktails and drinks, coffee, snacks, champagne, wine. After that got mundane, after an hour and a half, I moseyed over to the coffee shop. There was also ice cream there, lots of finger foods. We'll explore that a lot later in the video. And then after that, I sauntered over to the gym, which was extremely disappointing for any hotel. It was extremely small. There were lots of mirrors in there. It was kind of like Beecher's Madhouse. It was just small and the equipment was really old and outdated. So I'll probably be working out either here in my room or on the beach. I did indeed make it up to my room a little early at 2:30. This is called the Grand. They say it's 630 square feet. I say absolutely not even close. Maybe 500, maybe. I have the twin bed set up, and it does come in one king. I just took whatever they had available. The bathroom does have a dual vanity, but one of those vanities are outside the bathroom. There is a nice closet storage space that I questioned initially, but now I kind of like. It's a great place to keep all your stuff stored and organized. The main room has an extremely large TV. It's nice and white and bright and effervescent in here, and it is rather spacious, or at least it seems that way with its open air layout. Of course, the balcony is probably the best portion of this entire room. It is ocean fronted up here on floor number 11. The views are really quite majestic. So it's night number one, and we are getting things started right away, no time to waste. I'm off to what I'm told is the most exclusive restaurant here. It's only for people who paid for the Level premium upgrade, and then it's only for adults. So adults only, Level only. I'm off to the Mediterranean restaurant, the Bistro. All right, good morning. I was thinking there are some things in life that are inexcusable. Literally, there's no excuse. For me, there's not too many things, but they're pretty obvious, the ones I can think of. I think the first one is drinking and driving. Like, there's no excuse. Like, if you're gonna drink, don't drive. If you wanna drive, don't drink. Secondly, I think is cheating. Like, have the adult conversation beforehand if you're unhappy. And then if you get caught, throw yourself at the mercy of the court. Like, there's no excuse. Like, you're totally at fault. Aaron Rodgers only winning one Super Bowl. Bro, you went 15-1 and then 13-3, 3 years in a row. You're supposed to be the greatest quarterback talent ever. One Super Bowl? Come on, dude, that's inexcusable. Melia here in Cozumel has 3 big ones as well. And you know what? I'm in such a great mood. I'm gonna give them all to you right away, right now. You don't even have to wait till the end of the video. The first one would be that the coffee shop doesn't open until 11 a.m. What's even the point of having a coffee shop? Now, you got guys like me who drink caffeine all the way up until they go to bed. But an 11 a.m. coffee shop, Starbucks would be out of business the next day. That's absurd. What's even the point? I was kind of hungry this morning and I couldn't find the room service menu, and I couldn't pull it up online, and it's not on the TV. I mean, typically the room service menu is available somewhere. Even if it's the worst room service on the face of the planet, it's available. This one weirdly was not available anywhere. And then I go downstairs and ask for it, and they had it like in this super secret binder. And they take it out for me, and then they proceed to tell me that you have to pay for the service. Like, I get it that people abuse the room service at all-inclusives, and therefore, like, you try to attach a fee to it to try to offset that or try to thwart people from abusing the system. But when you upgrade to the level, you're still gonna charge us for room service when we've upgraded to the premium portion of your property? That's absurd. And then lastly, the mattresses here are terrible. They might be the worst all-inclusive mattresses I've ever encountered. You know, I don't encounter too many beds that are bad in my travels anymore. When I do, they're typically like in Las Vegas or like in metropolitan cities. I can't remember the last time I've encountered a bad bed at a nice upscale hotel. These are pitiful. They are horrible. Look at the size of these pillows. Like, these are like decorative pillows. These are pillows that you give to someone when you don't want them staying for a while. When they're at your house. Like, these are one night pillows right here. And then this is supposed to be this is the biggest pillow that they give you. This is a hospital pillow right here. So, yeah, 3 cardinal sins for this Melia. I am extremely, extremely disappointed. As of right now, the weather is not the best. In fact, it's terrible, and it's looking to get even worse throughout this trip. So I just got to keep a smile on my face. I'm just going to sit here like a Labrador and wait for the weather to break, or just wait for an inkling of sunshine. And as soon as it does, I'm down to the pool. The weather today was atrocious. It was so bad. And I really wanted to go check out the general pool as well. So hopefully later in the stay, I can have some time to go check out the general pool as well. But this pool was, if you get past its size, it was actually not a bad place to hang out. It was adults only, enforced adults only. In the middle of the property, centrally located next to the lobby, next to the Level Premium Club, right next to the beach. There was a swim-up bar, there was some music, there was a beachside, poolside cafe. It definitely lacks style, and it definitely lacks size, and probably lacks substance as well, but if you can get past those big three, it's not a bad place to hang out. As soon as the weather turned poor, I just went to the beachside, poolside barbecue shack. That's actually where I ate dinner last night at the bistro. During the day, at just the poolside, beachside barbecue place, I had an incredibly fresh quesadilla, as well as some chicken wings. That was enough to spike my blood sugar and put me into a food siesta. I just awoke a little bit ago, and it's time for dinner. The winds right now are blistering. They're like 35 miles per hour, and this place is outside. So this should be a really interesting experience. I'm off to Mole, which is the Mexican beachside restaurant. All right, good morning. Pretty much deja vu all over again from yesterday morning. These beds are torturous. They're going to be the end of me. Literally, I bet prisoners of war have better nights asleep than I had last night. But all is not lost because there's blue outside. Now, there's not that much. It's like a bluish gray, but I can see blue in the sky, a little bit of it, and I can see a little bit of blue in the ocean. So we need to get down there immediately because it's not supposed to last that long at all. I do need to give you an update, though, on my dinner last night and the night before. So on my first night, I went down to the bistro, which is, I believe, adults only, level only. So arguably the most prestigious restaurant here. But I couldn't find it. Like, it's not on the map, and like it wasn't where it was supposed to be. So I asked the people at the front desk, I'm like, where's the bistro? And they're like, oh, it's poolside. I'm like, great. Another impromptu, makeshift, patchwork restaurant that's poolside. What are they going to do? Like, put a couple loungers and a daybed together and call it a restaurant? And that's actually kind of what it was. like their Dayside Beach Barbecue Shack turns into the restaurant at night, but I actually found it astonishingly enjoyable. It was very artisan. It felt very, very personalized. It felt very craft. I basically had the place to myself. There's one other couple. It was beachside. They had some ambient string lights, which kind of gave it some atmosphere and some mood. It just felt very custom. It just felt extremely, extremely private. The menu was unique. It was Mediterranean Greek. The coolest thing is probably that you get all the appetizers. I think there were like 6 or 7, and they just give you all of them, which is nice because you get a variety and you get to sample everything, and it's just very rare at an all-inclusive where they give you everything. And then dinner last night was absolutely insane. It was maniacal. Like, I can't believe I ate outside in like 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Menus were everywhere. The lights were swaying back and forth. It wasn't an extremely annoying dining experience, but you can't control the weather, and you really can't fault the restaurant for that. They really can't relocate. So I wasn't angry about the wind, but I will say that I'm noticing one thing about the restaurants here is that they are extremely slow when it comes to service. Like, I think there's just one guy that walks from table to table to take your order. Like, you're going to get your water guy, your drink guy. The normal people come to the table to take your request, but there's only one guy who puts in the actual order, and he moves from table to table very slowly. I would say both dinners were average. The one last night was probably a little bit better, just by an iota, though, not by much. So the beach was surprisingly nice. For a Cozumel beach, it was really nice. Better than every single beach I've seen in Puerto Vallarta, and now that I think about it, better than the majority of beaches I've seen in Playa del Carmen. Cozumel is more of a diving destination, but when you get a hotel with a great beach, that's just a huge bonus. And this beach was shockingly long with a nice stretch of sand. Because the strand was nice and spacious, there was ample seating. There was a dedicated spot for the level guest that had wait staff and a few extra amenities. There were a couple different bars. So overall, as my trip is kind of culminating here on my last night, I would say that the beach, shockingly, astoundingly, is one of the best aspects of this Melia property. So it's been a long trip already, and it's only hotel number 1. That's not a good sign. But I'm your travel Labrador. I'm your human sled dog. I will never let you down until I collapse is my internal mantra. I'm going to go to dinner. And it's a big dinner. Supposedly, it's the best one on this entire property. I'm off to Fish House, the seafood restaurant. All right, I'm back in my room after dinner, which I almost walked out of. Do you have time limits or rules of thumb when you walk into a restaurant? Like, if you get seated and the waiter doesn't stop by within 15 minutes, you leave. Or if the waiter doesn't take your order within the first half hour, you leave. I definitely have those. They're not set in stone. They're just kind of based off feel, but I definitely have those. And today I looked at my clock, and they did not take my order for 30 minutes. And at an all-inclusive, you can bolt at any time. Doesn't matter if you have drinks or an app. If you're just not feeling it, you can just leave. And I almost did that, and I'm really glad that I didn't, because it's absolutely the best restaurant here, by far, not even close. I ordered the steak tonight just to compare it to the steak last night. Bigger, juicier, more flavorful, cooked better. The plates had some culinary elements to them. They had some nice design. They were plated beautifully. There was a nice composition of ingredients. The place had like a rustic feel. It's not going to wow you with its elegance or luxury, but it's really truly all about the food. Now, it's going to take forever. For me, it took an hour and a half. It took a half hour just to basically order my food, but it was well worth the wait. And if I was coming here just casually as a regular guest, I would be eating there every single night. And the good news is it's open to everybody. So that's definitely the spot to be. So I'm going to keep this momentum going. I'm going to go check out the evening entertainment show for tonight, and then after that, hopefully some nightlife as well. All right, good morning. It's early. It's so early. The sun is not even out yet. I'm going to pull off the rare and exclusive and elusive double breakfast. I'm going to take you to both the regular buffet and the exclusive level only breakfast that's at the Boathouse, which is where I ate last night. So I'm going to go back there for breakfast. Now, I've been to both unofficially. One was officially awesome, and the other one was officially awful. So I'll give you the rundown on which is which when I get back. Before that, I just have one simple thing on my mind, just a quick thought from last night, and that's, when you go to these smaller shows, it's real easy to be disappointed right away because they don't have the production and theatrics or just the overall aesthetic of a large production show. But I find them to actually be better in quality because there's nowhere to mask bad quality. Like if you have a lot of music, lights, action, if the crowd is distanced off and yonder, you can kind of cover up bad quality, but there's nowhere for bad quality to hide like in an intimate personal show like that. The show is only as good as its performers because that's all there is. There's no production elements or anything like that. And I guess what I'm getting at is that the performers last night were really skilled and good quality, especially that juggler. Like spinning that plate on his nose and then juggling at the same time. Now this is quite the eclectic and eccentric skill, but a skill nonetheless. So I'm off to breakfast and then I'm back here to give you my final thoughts on Melia Cozumel. You wouldn't know it by looking at the buffets, but the main buffet, the standard buffet is actually extremely, extremely pathetic. It might be the worst buffet I've ever been to. The one at Wyndham here in Cozumel was much better than the one here. Now I got there right away in the morning when nobody was there and the food was just freshly set out, but I can tell you right now, it is extremely sparse. There's no selection. I mean, truly, what was there? There were some breads, there were some pancakes, there were some eggs, and there were some meats. That's basically it. For a hotel of this caliber, of this price, it just was extremely, extremely pathetic, sad, depressing. The brunch over at Boathouse or Fish House, whatever it is, that breakfast brunch is probably the second best meal I had during this entire stay, only behind the best meal, which was also at the same restaurant just for dinner. But that's the spot to hang out for sure. That cappuccino, those cappuccinos, the ones with Bailey's and Kahlua, are life-changing. It's like a legal version of a speedball. I just can't even formulate words. They are heavenly, they are euphoric, they are awesome. I wish I had time to go back and enjoy a couple more of those. But I kept on asking myself why this morning. Like, why have a coffee shop open at 11? And why charge extra service fees to the guests that have paid extra to upgrade to the service? The bedding and stuff like that. This place is just off. Like, the service is good. It's not great. It's good. But it's forced. You can totally tell it's forced. This place is just a little too idiosyncratic. It's just a little too regimented. I just don't see why people would come back to this place. And if you wouldn't come back to it, is it a good hotel? I think you know the answer to that question. This is like a bare bones skeleton diet Paradisus. If you stripped away Paradis's service, the style, the class, and the personality and the luxury, you would just get a hollowed out Melia. That's what this place is. I think the two biggest surprises on the upside would probably be the beach for Cozumel Beach. And for a beach in this area, it's actually really good. And then the food. The food is definitely, I think, the biggest standout here. I'm not calling the food fantastic, but I'm saying the biggest standout for this property would be the food alongside the beach. As far as the score rating, I'd probably give it a 1.5. It's not any better than that. It's a 1.5 on its best day. Now remember, I only stay at the best hotels. I only stay at the most popular hotels, the coolest hotels, or I'm looking for the coolest hotels. So just for me to come to this property means that it hits a certain threshold. But when you start comparing it against the other top hotels in the area or the most popular or best hotels, even though I haven't been to a lot in Cozumel, it certainly is in the lower quartile from what I've experienced in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. Melia Cozumel, I had high hopes. It was my first official Cozumel hotel. It was my first official Melia. I like the Paradisus brand. I do see a little bit of the Paradisus DNA in this property, but fossilized. It's fossilized. Camouflage maybe even, but it's there if you look hard enough.